Okay, are you ready for the explanation of 21 Day Fix with a Twist? If you were in the Pegan Diet group that we did, it was a 30-day group, and we went over a lot of information from Dr. Mark Hyman, and he wrote a book called Eat Fat, Get Thin. There's a lot of things discussed in there that are very different than what we hear in the media, what we talk to people about, how do they lose weight. But I think the main message in that book was that, especially if you're, over 30, 40, and you're a woman, losing weight, which is what a lot of us are in this group to do, and hopefully just to get healthy in general. But losing weight and getting healthy, it's not a math equation. It is a hormone game. Okay, so once I accepted that, excuse me, then I was good with incorporating some of the things that seemed very strange into my diet, like bulletproof coffee in the morning, which is putting a tablespoon of butter and a tablespoon of MCT oil or coconut oil into my coffee. So I start my day with healthy fats. And the reason that you do that is because it turns on your hormones that increase your energy. It does not spike insulin. So if anybody in this group has any kind of diabetes in their family, it's just important to know that insulin is a hormone. And if we turn on insulin, first thing it does is it tells our body to store fat in our gut, which is why people with diabetes have a lot of more fat that they carry around their middle section. And that's the most unhealthy place to carry it. So it is an indicator that diabetes might be in the future. So we don't want to turn on that hormone. We don't want to turn on insulin. And when you start to accept that it's not just a math equation, meaning let me get my tracker out and make sure I put in exactly how many calories, exactly how many fat grams, exactly how many protein and carbs, that's kind of the old way of thinking. And if you're open to trying this twist plan, we'll be combining portion control, because you still have to be smart. And that's why I still love the containers, with turning on the right hormones as our metabolism changes. That's the key. So I don't want to take up a lot of time going through this, but I am going to go through why we're changing some things, and this is going to be an option for you. If you're just starting on this journey, you've never done 21 Day Fix before, you can definitely just follow the regular 21 Day Fix grocery shopping list, and when you're making your meal plan, follow that, because you don't want to do too many changes all at once. That's sometimes when we fail. So baby steps, Kristen and I always, and all the coaches on my team, are always encouraging that, little baby steps. So if you are just starting out, then I really want you to consider just starting with the basic plan. And as time goes on, when you kind of hit a weight loss plateau, you might need to tweak it a little bit, and then you might want to try this with a twist. You can also mix the two plans together a little bit, but the basis behind it is that we want to increase our healthy fats, and we want to increase our greens, and we want to decrease the bad carbs. So I want you to all start thinking about vegetables as a carb. So this is not a low carb diet. This is not a no carb diet. Your good healthy vegetables are going to be your carbohydrates, okay? Because you never want to take out, no diet is good that takes out any kind of macronutrient, whether it's protein, high protein, high fat, low fat. You never want to completely take that out. That doesn't make sense for our bodies to heal, for our guts to heal, to get the inflammation down, so we don't get heart disease, and we don't have diabetes, and we don't have joint pain, things like that. So we want to increase the healthy fats, and it's always good to up the greens. The guy that wrote this book, the doctor, used to be a vegetarian, and then he realized as a vegetarian he wasn't getting the best source of protein. It's very hard to do that as a vegetarian, but he does still encourage everyone to have 70% of their plate as greens. So one big change with this 21 Day Fix with a twist is going to be, you have to accept the fact that green containers are unlimited. Some of you will be really happy about that. Some of you can't fit in from the basic 21 Day Fix plan, the number of greens. I myself try to shoot for 5 to 10 servings of greens every day. So when you see the list, it's going to be a little bit different Sorry about the birds in the background. I decided to do this outside because my light's not good, but I hope they're not too distracting. So the greens are going to go up on the 21-day fix with the twist. You'll see this on the chart, and Kristen made some awesome graphs for us to use, and she also updated a food list. So let's see if I can show you this. My printer kind of stunk today, but it says 21-day fix with the twist, and then what you'll see on it is some shaded areas, and those are the foods that we don't really recommend, the ones in gray in a couple of the columns. So in the yellow containers, there's going to be a lot of controversy with some of these, like oatmeal and whole grain bread. And again, it's your option if you want to include those. But if you're trying to really make some good changes and cut down on the bad carbs, the processed carbs, even though it's 21-day fix approved because it's portion controlled, consider what we want to do to our insulin. We want to decrease our insulin. We don't want insulin to spike, so we store fat. We want to turn on the hormones that make us burn fat. And healthy fats, the right ones, help us burn fat. And they tell our brain we're full. Okay, so people are still fat phobic, and that's why you might be hesitant at the beginning to do this. But as you start to incorporate them in, you'll see you're not hungry. You're not as hungry as you were before, because carbs within an hour make you hungry. So if we take out some of the yellows, some of the yellow containers, and we're suggesting in this 1 to 2 for most calorie brackets. So if you take it down to 1 or 2, I'm pretty much down to 1 container. I'll do a sweet potato, or sometimes a quinoa or black bean or something like that. But after doing the vegan group and understanding why we want to get those carbs down and up the greens, I was able to take that out. So you have to make that choice. You know, if it says you can have 3 or 4, again, it depends where you're starting. Okay, so you decide which one is going to work for you. Proteins, pretty much we're going to keep at 4 to 6 servings a day. So the main thing with protein is just keeping it in that red container. Okay, so not too much has changed with that one. The biggest change, besides increasing your greens to unlimited, is going to be the fat category. And we talked for a long time trying to figure out how to make this work, and this is what makes sense to us. On this new sheet, you'll see still a blue, an orange, and a teaspoon, but that now we're calling a tablespoon category. And so what we're doing with that is, instead of separating those, okay, so instead of one blue like a lot of us are allowed to have on the 21-day fix plan, you'll see that in the book, you'll see that on the graph that we posted. A blue container is equivalent to an orange container is equivalent to a tablespoon serving of a healthy fat. Okay, so for instance, if I have my shake in the morning and I add a tablespoon of almond butter, that's 1 serving of healthy fat. Okay, now one change on here is we're not big peanut butter fans. Peanut's not great for a lot of reasons. It's pretty inflammatory. So peanut butter we put on, let me see where we put it, Kristen. I think we just didn't include it on our tablespoon category, which used to be teaspoon, for nut butters. We have almond, walnut, or cashew butter. Okay, so again, it's up to you, but we're trying to get you healthy, not just have you lose weight for, you know, the short term. So consider taking out the peanut butters. That is a change between the 2 plans. But basically what we're recommending for most of us in here, and you'll see it, we'll give 2 side-by-side charts. Actually, it'll be in the file section of our group. And you can have between 4 to 5 servings of fats a day. So if I have my tablespoon of almond butter in my shake, and I have my bulletproof coffee, which has a tablespoon of real butter, grass-fed butter, and coconut oil, I'm already at 3 fat servings for the day. So I'm only going to have a couple more of my fat servings, maybe a dressing, but I might only have half a tablespoon of olive oil with my dressing at dinner, and I'll put apple cider vinegar with it. So now we still have about a tablespoon and a half or a serving and a half left. So again, for blue category, it's going to be very similar. You still have your avocado, you have 12 almonds, you can put them in your blue container. That's going to be 1 of your fat servings. Your orange container, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, olives, coconut, and your 21-day fix dressings. So that would be that orange, which I think equals 2 tablespoons. That would be 1 serving of your healthy fat from that category. So we're lumping them together. Biggest difference in this plan, you have to decide again if you buy into this or not. Do you think it's a math game and we can cut calories and get where we want to be with our weight loss goals? Or have you seen yourself plateau before and you need to change things up? I really believe in the paleo way of eating. And so when we did this Pegan group, it's a combination of vegetarian and paleo. And some of you might not know what paleo is, but it kind of goes back to, you know, our ancestors and how the paleo, I don't know how to say that word, how the paleo people lived. And they were hunters and gatherers, right? So they ate when they needed to fuel their body. We have come so far away from that. We just eat because it's habit. We eat because we're stressed. We eat because we're going out to dinner. We eat because we're on vacation and we might be bored sitting in, you know, on the beach. So we don't think that way anymore. And that is why there's so much diabetes. There's so much diabetes, and there's so much heart disease, and there's so much autoimmune problems and joint pain and all these chronic conditions. And you know, it kind of goes along with if we're allergic to certain foods, gluten foods, grain foods. It's getting away from grains, because there wasn't grains back in the day. There were, you know, they hunted, they got their protein source, nothing was processed, and they had tons of vegetables and fruits. So we are limiting the fruits to 1 to 2 because it is still breaking down to a sugar if you do this plan with a twist. But again, just think about why you're fueling your body. And if you're eating too low and you're doing a workout, that's not going to work either. So you really have to decide what's going to work best for you. Don't go too low with the containers. We still want to make sure you're getting the calories that you need. But just really think about how often you need to eat and why are we eating? We're eating all day long because we are eating sugars that spike our blood sugar, and within an hour we're hungry. My daughter Carly does it all the time. She's way too many carbs, so she's hungry all day long. And Mallory, my other daughter, she's changed a little bit, so she's eating a lot more healthy fats and a little bit less of the fruit. She was really addicted to fruit, and she's not starving all the time, and she's an endurance athlete. So this is even working for a lot of you have kids that do, you know, running and swimming and basketball, and they have to have a good energy source. Fat is a better energy source. It gives you 9 calories, you know, per serving versus 4 with the carbs. So why aren't we using fat for energy instead of carbs? So in the long run, it really doesn't make a lot of sense. So consider this. Look at what I'm going to post today. It's going to be 2 different food lists. You can print both out and compare them. But you're going to hang one of them up on your refrigerator. You're also going to hang up the grocery shopping list we're going to give you. And then we'll give you 2 calorie brackets. I think we posted one the other day, and now we're going to post another one. And this one is going to be the one with the twist. So check it out. Post any questions here. We wanted to do a video, so it was easier to explain because this is a little bit different. But you know, our goal for you is to get you healthy for the long term. So 21 Day Fix is a great program, but there's ways now, after studying nutrition for the last 1.5 years, that we figured out, you know, we can really make you healthy and keep the weight off. And we have a lot of good success stories in this group already. So I think those were the main things that I wanted to talk about. Hope you guys get through this, because this is one of the more important videos to watch. So if you have to go back and watch it, go ahead and do that. And just make sure you get these printed today. This is an important prep week, so that by Monday we'll be good to go. We'll post some things about meal prep this weekend, going grocery shopping, and you're gonna have access to all the tools. You just have to make it work. Some of you I've had in my groups for a year, and you are good to go now. Like, you are doing awesome this week because you made the choice to do this. So you're gonna get out of this how much you put into it, how much prep. We can't use the excuse I don't have time to prep, because you're not going to meet your goals if you don't. And I used to feel bad and say, yeah, I know you're busy, I know you have a high exec job and, you know, 4 kids at home, but you have to make the choice to make this work. Okay, so just do it and make your kids help you with the meal prep. Okay, there's no reason. Most of you in this group have kids that can help you in the kitchen. Use them. You're doing everything else for them. Okay. All right, post questions below. Have a great day.